Is the king starting to lose its crown? Bitcoin stuck near 118,000. Dominance is starting to slip fast. Ethereum itself just saw 1.15 billion vanish from the exchanges in 72 hours. There's some people flipping really bullish on Ethereum, and altcoins are starting to rev up. Could we be entering full blown alt season? Let's dive in on this Sunday morning. Get the beverage of your choice. Come on over and give us a like. Make sure that you hit subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you come on over and follow us on X, where we talk about Bitcoin, crypto all day, every day. All right, crew, welcome back. It is Sunday. Hope you were all in the live stream yesterday. Had some really good points that were put out by Justin. So let's just check in on his trade, all right? This is the setup that he has. He has an inverted head and shoulders pattern that he was looking at to actually get long Bitcoin. He's still in the trade, obviously. Again, if you're in the live stream, he would have covered this and he would have covered more. So make sure you get ready for Wednesday, another live stream, okay? Another live stream Wednesday, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. All right, so Bitcoin right now, price right around 118,000. The range today has been like 117.8 to 118,000. I think it's 5. I'm not really sure. So I want to take you over to the trade itself on WeX, our trusted broker. Low fees, fast execution. All right, so he's got an average entry price about 117,000. Market price right now says it's 117,958. It's up about 8.18%. Let's get into our little handy dandy trusty 2-hour chart that we like to refer to. And that's a CME Market Cap. We're going to get to that in a second. Here is the handy dandy 2-hour market 2-hour chart that we have. All right, now I know it looks a little messy. All right, it looks a little messy, but really it's not. There's just an Andrew pitchfork overlaid over the Fibonacci channels. Okay, that's all we got. Told you yesterday we had a hold above this level right here, 117,860. Look how it's been. It came up through it. It actually held this line. It is sitting here right now. That's the level. Hey, I got to give myself a pat on the back. It's been pretty important right now. Now this is only a 2-hour chart, right? So I'm not getting too excited about it, but when we're working with Andrew's pitchfork, the most important line is what's known as the meridian right here, this white line. Okay, now generally what the rule is that if you can get above, okay, one of the tines. Okay, now we're really in like a nowhere land right in this area right here. I mean, it's really nothing really happening in this area. Okay, however, if we look at the overall structure of Bitcoin, we're still in just consolidating phase, which is good. It's good. How come I can't get rid of this arrow? Where's my little thingy to get rid of it? I don't want to do that. Anyway, let's just remove that. Yeah, let's remove it. Okay. So consolidation right here along the line that I said that we had to hold. So with Andrew's pitchfork, we're generally saying that if you can get through one tine, you're traveling up to the meridian. Okay. The meridian is a very, very important part. It's the midpoint. Okay. Now there'll be resistance up there. However, if you could pop up through the meridian and close above the meridian, most likely you are actually trading towards the upper tine where the main resistance is. And it's actually taking us a little bit higher than this point, okay, showing us that, we'll be up in this area of the chart, which is an important area. Remember, one time I told you, I said that one of the principles are, if you're looking at a market and you're thinking it's coming off, the most important ticks on the market are the low tick of the high bar or the highest tick on the lowest bar or candle. Okay, I'm a bar chart guy, but candles, bars, it's all the same thing. It's all the same information, just recycled a little bit differently. So really, it's this point. Look at it. It's the low tick on this bar. Okay, that's an important point short term for Bitcoin to try to attempt to get through the all-time high. Now, there's a lot of things going on right here in the marketplace itself. Bitcoin is consolidating. I want to take you over to Bitcoin dominance itself. As you can see, dominance is down. Okay, we're going to refer to this a couple of times today. But this is very, very important for overall altcoin season and Ethereum. I'm going to be hitting Ethereum hard today. So for all you Ethereum maniacs, this one will be really for you, because Bitcoin really right now isn't really doing much. I mean, we're consolidating. So Bitcoin itself has to get over the next level that I have is 119.3. It's got to get up over it. We got a lot of chop that's happening in between these 2 points. I think Bitcoin is actually just going to be a little bit quiet for the time being. Now, I know a lot of you don't want to hear that, but it's just my opinion. I think that Bitcoin is really going to be quiet. Now, if we come on over to the good old CME Market Gap, we got a partial fill in the CME Market Cap, with not fully filled at all. And I thought that we were going to be able to fill the gap. However, Bitcoin's holding strong. It's holding strong, which is okay. So it's actually great for other altcoins, right? Because capital rotation is happening slowly. Bitcoin is still holding line because there's a lot of institutional buyers. If we check in on good old IBIT on the close on Friday, we could see that the close was 66.36. Now, I told you this is an important little secret indicator that we use. Check in on this. If you see Bitcoin dumping and you really see this holding steady, it's just short-term, trading that's going on. Now, Bitcoin has to hold the line that the levels that we talked about, where we said that Bitcoin can't close below 115,007. It hasn't been able to. We spiked it, but you notice this is a daily chart. We spiked it. We came right back above it. So that's the first critical price in the short term on a daily chart. Okay, the other chart that I'm working on is a 2-hour chart. It's really just a minutia of the marketplace. Gives me a good idea of zeroing in on price points to get say, oh, we're breaking down a little bit or we're slightly breaking up a little bit. Bitcoin really right now is taking a back seat to a lot of other coins, and we're going to get into them in a moment. But we can't close below 115.7 on the dailies. If we do, we're going to be threatening the 111,000 area. It's fine. Okay, it's fine. With that would mean Bitcoin dominance is really starting to take a bigger hit. As long as the other altcoins are moving higher, we could say it's just normal trading and it's just capital rotation. If we see everything going down, well, we got an issue that we got to really dig into, what's happening. Okay, did Congress say something stupid? Did Trump make an announcement? Trump is seriously long Ethereum and Bitcoin. I mean, he's all in on this. So that's a good thing for us. To have the president of the United States really backing this stuff is a good thing. But all right, so we checked on the IBIT. We see it's basically 66.36. Now, if we go a little bit further, we're going to be talking about emotional. Okay. Now, what do we mean by that? Well, Bitcoin followed the emotional cycle to the letter. When the market rallied, okay, everybody got late. Okay, as usual, retail late. Okay, so it's a bull trap. Okay, market came back down. Traded lower, made a lower high, made a slightly higher low, another lower high, came down here, kind of bear trap. Okay, right now. Now that is a very, very important price, since this is a 4-hour chart, so it's a little bit, it's better than my 2-hour chart, right? It's got there's a lot more information here in the bars and in the candles themselves. Okay, however, what we're saying here is that you first had the bull trap. Okay, now market structure would say this. Okay, and this is just a 4-hour chart. So market structure would say this. You got a high, you got a low, you got a lower high. Okay, these are kind of like nothing. Okay, then this is actually nothing. Then you get a lower low. That's a trigger point. Okay, that's that 115.7. So what this is saying is that if we do break this point, we're going back down to the 111. Okay, all right, fine. But right now we're still up inside the wedge. And the level at 117, the one that I actually brought up to you the other day, just yesterday, this one, say 118, is still holding. So it's good. Okay. But look, what we hope for and what we wish for isn't always what we get, right? So we got to be prepared for every scenario in the marketplace at all times. So this low is critical low for market structure because that's the low. That's basically a trigger price to get everybody to puke positions that are short term, maybe over leveraged, and drive the price back down to 110, 109, the levels that we said have to hold, which were right there. Okay. So that's what we got going on in Bitcoin itself. Now, if we look at Bitcoin dominance once again, Bitcoin dominance is hovering right around 60.8 to 61.4. Now, other analysts, aside from ourselves, are saying that we have a potential pullback as traders rotate into altcoins. Okay. Yeah, that makes total sense to me. Now, I want to take you over to Ethereum because Ethereum itself is becoming the star of the show. It's taking a little bit of the glamour away from Bitcoin, and it's one that we've been pointing and talking about for quite a while. Okay. Ethereum, in our opinion, is setting up for a monster move. Okay. Massive bullish monthly candle. Okay. Fresh MAC D crossover. 3-year squeeze reaching an apex right now. Right here is the monster monthly candle. Okay. We need to get over that. Okay. We're saying 4,000 would be the trigger short term. Monthly is saying get it over, 4,400. Okay, fine. 4,000, 4,400. Once we get over 4,000, we could start looking for in the minutia where we could actually come back down to and then look for the takeoff. Remember, the lowest tick on the highest candle and the highest tick on the lowest candle. If we go to the monthly, we can actually see the reversal right here. The highest tick on the lowest candle right here. You can actually see the spike and the takeoff. Now, right now, we're looking at this. This is basically the highest candle that we have right now. The lowest tick sits at 2,300. All right, so could it go back down there? Yeah. Do I think it's going to go there? No. But it's a possibility in markets. It's a possibility. Right now, Ethereum's trading at 3,827, but a break of 4,200, and it's going to rip like it did in 2021. Those who didn't reload will remember the moment. You're going to regret it, in our opinion. Okay. Don't say we didn't tell you about it. Don't say we didn't warn you. So right now, sitting at 3,820. All right. I want to show you on Ethereum here. I want to show you this. Look, we talked about this. Okay. Here are the resistance, 4,000 major resistance. Break through it and break through the 45 for the monthly. I think in the first stop is like 6,000. The train is going to be leaving the station and it's going to be a bullet train. It's going to be straight up. Of course. All right. Let me let me not get too far over my skis. What I'm saying is that once the break occurs, yes, will there be profit taking? Absolutely. They're going to be people that have been holding it. Oh, smashing it down. Could we go back to 3,700, 3,800? Yes. But once the market closes above that, in my opinion, with the to and fro, we could actually see 6,000 pretty quickly. So think about your positions, trade with your head, not over it. Do your own research, but really, pay attention to Ethereum because I think that it's really going to take off. So the daily range today has been 3,828 was the high, or 3,830, right here, right where we're sitting right here on this beautiful Sunday morning. The low of the range has been 3,721. What's the trend? Trend is strong upside and ETF flows picking up steam. Bullish signal, over 310,000 Ethereum withdrawn from the exchanges this week, worth 1.15 billion. That's serious accumulation. Okay, you got to pay attention to the minutia, and that is serious accumulation. Now, we got another guy, and I'm going to mention him. I mean, his name is Tom Lee. Okay, And he's a managing partner and head of research at Fundstrat Global Advisors. He's publicly clarified his position, and he called for Ethereum to outperform Bitcoin based on its proof of stake model and money flow. Okay, now that's a pretty important guy. I mean, he's a managing director. If we look at Bitcoin versus Ethereum, we got capital rotation setting up. Okay, Ethereum Bitcoin trend just flipped like in 2020, right before Ethereum exploded. This isn't speculations, it's repetition. Markets repeat themselves, not exactly, but like that we like to say, history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes, right? So this is definitely a rhyme. Okay. So it isn't speculation, it's repetition. Ethereum led alt season often follows this exact setup. Ethereum led alt season often follows this exact setup. Capital is moving. Don't fade the signal. Now, I'm going to show you this. I mean, this is some more proof for you if you're still, wondering. Ethereum is mirroring 2017 now with institutional backing. You just heard Tom Lee. Now we know BlackRock, we know Fidelity, we know that State Street is accumulating. We know that Donald Trump bought 2 million worth of Ethereum. It's all here for you, right? The reclaim of the 50-week MA, check. Look what happened in 2017. I mean, you couldn't. I mean, this is beautiful chart work, man. It's all right here. I mean, so if you're lost in the forest and can only see the trees, this is a way to, get out of the forest and look at the overall forest itself, right? You take one of those little drones and go up top and see the complete forest instead of being stuck in the quagmire of the forest itself. So look at this, okay? Breakout from multi-month range, check. It's happened. Okay, same thing happened in 2017. Same thing is happening right here, right now. Okay, right now in 2025, we also have ETF inflows, record on-chain volume, and Wall Street rotation. Same setup, much, much, much more capital and bigger stakes happening right now. So smart money is rotating out of Bitcoin. Okay, we saw that, the Bitcoin dominance chart right there. We saw the Bitcoin dominance. And guess what? It's coming into Ethereum. Now, it's also going into Solana, Dogecoin, and newer plays like Remix. Ethereum has outperformed Bitcoin by over 70% in recent metrics. This isn't just rotation, it's conviction. Now, we also have an M2 money play that's happening right now. An M2 money play, money swing, whatever you want to call it. Now, it just completed its accumulation phase. Ethereum just mirrored M2 global liquidity. We are right now, right here in Ethereum. Look where M2 is. This is the same thing when we talk about Bitcoin, okay? How money affects, global M2 affects the coins themselves. Ethereum is just, the accumulation is done. The expansion phase is starting. If you're waiting for a clear signal, this is it. If you're waiting for a clear signal, you can't get any more clear than this. Now, of course, could it go down a little bit? Yeah, of course. But we're talking overall, this thing is headed like 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. It's going to catch. It's really going to like start to take off. So the markup phase is next. Okay, so don't blink. Don't blink. All right, we're going to move on to altcoins themselves right now. I want to show you this chart, the altcoin market cap itself. The altcoin market cap is now over 1.44 trillion. It's gaining steam as Bitcoin dominance fades, that chart that we showed you. Altcoins are loading the spring. Each major MACD crossover marked the side and the start of vertical expansion. Each MACD crossover marked a sign and the start of a vertical expansion. 2024 just triggered the same signal. Every bottom, Okay, if we come on, we're looking at every bottom right here, hit the trend line, every breakout followed a crossover. Okay, we're here again. Don't fade it. It's right happening right here. We hit the bottom and we have the crossover right there. It is loading. So don't fade this. Now we got Solana, Doge, Remedix are among the top gainers. Capital is clearly hunting for the next breakout. Capital is looking for the next breakout, which brings us up right to our little chart right here on good old HBAR. Now, we called your attention to this coin a couple of times, and we think that this one, as capital rotation is looking for the next breakout, we're thinking this is the next breakout. Okay, so like we said before, HBAR holders strap in. The rocket launched straight from the support zone, just like we forecast. We said here is the support area. It's going to take off, and it did. It did quite nicely. Okay, and now we have the pullback, and we're looking for the breakout. Breakout over 30 cents. We think is going to be the first sign that we're going up to around 37 cents. Now, of course, 30 cents is a strong psychological point, if you want to say, but 30 cents is the point that we need to get over. Now, I believe that if we break above 30 cents, we'll trade between say 27 and a half and say 31 for a little while before we get a clean break up to around 35, 36, and then there's resistance at 37 cents again. And then we got the breakout. We're thinking this thing is going to 60 cents. Okay, that's just us. Do your own research. We told you about it. It hit the support zone like we forecast. If you bought the dip, and there are some people on our YouTube community that did, and they're doing quite well with it right now. He's smiling right now, or I would think it's a he, but okay, he or she is smiling right now. That little pullback that we just had right here was instantly bought. Okay, so Hedra isn't lagging. We think it's leading. This chart screams the winner of the bull cycle. So HBAR to maybe 50 cents is back on the table. So right now we got the crypto market cap, itself hovering near 3.9 trillion with daily volumes between 80 billion and 105 billion. So what to watch next? All right, keep your eye on Bitcoin dominance. Okay. If it starts to slip, but yet Bitcoin is holding the line at 100 and, let's go down to 115,007. All is well. Okay. Now we got resistance in Bitcoin itself at, I'm going to go back to my little 2-hour messy chart, at 120,000. Now we got to ask, and I want you to answer this in the comments. Can the bulls break through? Or do you think we're going deeper before we take off? And then we have altcoin rotation involved. Leave me some comments, give me some ideas. I want to hear, when we get many minds thinking together, we can sometimes pull out really good gems from them. All right. Now, institutional behavior. Will more ETF flows pile into Ethereum and altcoins? That's the question. Now, we have regulatory developments. As always, any shift from U.S. policymakers could swing this market fast. So in either direction, if these dopes from Congress come out and say something stupid, well, we got some problems. So overall, we got Bitcoin stabilizing right around 118,000. We got Ethereum sitting right at 3,820. Altcoin varies, but there's a broad surge into Solana, Doge, and DeFi coins themselves. And keep your little eye on HBAR. Okay, keep your eye on it. Not saying you have to go buy it. Do your own research, but we called your attention to it. All right. So before we wrap up, crew, I want to make sure you're well aware of our trading community. We have a link in the description. You asked for it, we delivered. You click this link, you'll be taken over to our Telegram community where okay, always does that to me. Can join in. We got, it's completely free. We got long-term gems. We got you covered. We got breakout setups in there. You want to follow us with our trusted broker? You come over into the link and you'll see right here, WeX, the broker of our choice, low fees, fast execution. Everything you want in a broker. Everything you want in a broker. in our opinion, is here. Like I said, there's very little slippage on this, if there is any at all. Remember, the original order was to buy Bitcoin 117,000 even. So I got to send 10 cents better. What broker does that? Usually you're seeing them get in at 117.20. They did an excellent job on this trade. Okay, so what do you got to do? Well, you got to make sure you come on over to good old X. Follow us on X, where we talk about Bitcoin and crypto every day, all day, every day. We're cryptomaniacs here. Okay, so what's the rule? Well, you got to trade with your head not over it. You got to do your own research. And you got to get into live streams on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Make sure you join the Telegram community. I'll see you tomorrow. You have a wonderful, wonderful day. Don't drink too much beer. And again, enjoy the party, but dance near the door. Cheers.